They're closed. There's nothing I like better than a well-designed piece of equipment. Take, for instance, my incessant obsession with Festool. Now, not only does Festool make really great tools, most of the tools integrate together like a part of one big system. Like how the batteries are interchangeable across other tool systems. Like whenever I turn on my cordless track saw, it automatically turns on the vacuum cleaner. It's these really small incremental touches that designers put into the products that make me feel like, as an end user, that I was thought of in the design process. And so anytime I see it, I like to show my appreciation for the consideration of the end user. So whichever member of the LiveWire design team decided to put the parts and accessories plug right here, I just want to say thanks, and thanks for thinking of me. On the LiveWire 1, the P&A port is underneath this plastic cover, underneath all this wiring and stuff. It's just a really big pain to get to. Today we're going to ride to Roanoke, Virginia, which is about an hour and a half away from me. We're going to pick up a parts and accessories electrical kit so that we can wire up my heated gear into the Del Mar. Okay, so the plan was to go to Roanoke, and you can see the fires behind me here. And Roanoke is this way through this corridor here, which is just completely covered in smoke. And I don't want to ride through that. Now the part that I need, I believe, is in, they have one at a dealer in Lynchburg, which is just over these mountains. But I'm almost certain that the pass goes through this, but I shouldn't be through smoke for that long. That's if it is still open. But this is the ridge line that I would have to cross in order to get there. So I'm gonna see if it's passable, and I'll just go to Lynchburg to get this piece that I need. And there's also chargers there. Didn't even think to check. That would explain why the parking lot is completely empty. It's Monday. It's just a simple Molex connector. It's not like some proprietary connector. So I thought, okay, well maybe I can just go to some other motorcycle place to pick one up or see if they have them. And all of the motorcycle places in Lynchburg are closed on Mondays. So need to get a small tripod. Tripod I have at home. It's a really, really nice tripod, but it's just a little bit too big for this bag for me to carry it on there. So I want to see if they have something that's just a teeny bit smaller. Almost done charging. Too busy watching Sam's newest video from New Zealand, and the bike hit 80%. So 81%, 322. All right, so that was 90 minutes to go from 16% to 81%. So LiveWire claims that it's 78 minutes to go from 20 to 80%. I would say that that's pretty close. Obviously, if I were out here as soon as it hit 80%, I think that it's probably very close to being true. So. Alright, so I'm going to do something that I didn't want to do, which is take off the P&A cable that I have on the LiveWire 1 and switch it over to the Del Mar. I don't want to do it because I don't want to have to switch the cables back and forth. I'd rather just have the cables on each bike. But considering the failure that is today, and I wanted to show people how to do it on the Del Mar, let's take off the LiveWire 1 and switch it over to the Del Mar. So this is my little adapter. This is the end that goes into the heated gear, and this is the end that connects to the SAE in here. Plug the adapter in, turn on the power, and hold down this. And look, there we go. Heated gear. And you can get a splitter cable like this one. So it's got two SAEs, and this is when they get plugged into the connector from the bike, and that way you can plug in your heated gear and then something else, maybe another USB power for a cell phone. I like to use it for my GPS unit, so I take the GPS unit. I bought another SAE plug, and I had to reverse the polarity on the Garmin Zumo XT2 in order to get it to work, but it's just rewiring. Now, I will say this, and I thought about doing this once I found out that the Harley-Davidson dealer was closed. You could, if you didn't want to mess around with finding a Molex plug that has two cables coming off of it, two wiring cables coming off of it, technically you could cut this Molex off of here and just hardwire in your own SAE connector, right? Instead of going through this mess of cable management. So really, if you wanted to snip this guy off right here and then hardwire it in to this, I wouldn't recommend that, just because now you've kind of ruined this entire harness. Not ruined, but you've modified the whole harness. Again, I really considered doing that, but with a Molex connector, it's waterproof, so you don't have to worry about any water intrusion if you decide to cut the cables yourself. But that is an option. That's not what I'm going to do, but it is an option. Instead of going to a Harley-Davidson dealer to buy this connector, which is 40 bucks, and it's got a lot of excessive stuff on it, you don't need all these other things, because the Del Mar, this plug is specifically for parts and accessories. It's not, you're not tapping into the converter, the DC converter on the LiveWire 1. I haven't looked on Amazon yet. I'll probably do that whenever I'm editing this, for a male Molex 150 connector that's already got 2-pin wires in it. That's an option that you can do instead of forking out 40 bucks to get this little cable adapter, again, which has just a bunch of excess stuff. Like these two plugs are kind of useless for the Del Mar. You don't really need it. I mean, I could probably go in and pull these cables out. Whatever you have connected to it, don't exceed 10 amps. If you don't exceed 10 amps, then you should be fine. You should be good to go. I can run my heated gear on full power. That's everything: gloves, pants, jacket, sock liners. I can run all that on full power and run my GPS, and I think I'm only pulling like 6 or 7 amps or something like that. So hope you found it helpful, and I will see you mañana. All right, editing bin here. You probably could go on Amazon and buy this for cheap-ish. You would need to buy the connectors. If you don't already have the crimpers, you would need to buy that, and you would also need to buy the wiring. I believe it's, and you're going to be spending, if you don't already have the tools to crimp these little connectors, if you don't have the tooling already to crimp that, then it's probably easier just to buy the thing from Harley and just be done with it, which is what I'm going to do. But if you want to buy all the components separately and you want to buy the tools, knock yourself out. It's a Molex black 2-pin male to female wire connector. Harley waterproof sealed kit, MX150. Knock yourself out. I'm just going to buy it and be done with it.